Facebook, Tony KATZ Radio. Be sure to like the page. You want to talk racism? Let's talk about the real problem with racism. It's not that racism doesn't exist. Of course it exists. And where it exists, we should fight it. But it's where people claim it just to be able to get some kind of moral high ground. That should be put down immediately. We should scoff at those people. We should be disgusted by those people who make up these things, who make these claims. I should say make these claims because then there are the people who flat out make things up. You want to discuss a problem with racism in America? You want to discuss a problem with hate and vitriol in America? Let me give you three stories. Let me give you three stories here. Do I have these in chronological order? I think I do. I think I do. I'm going to start with. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to start right here with this racial hoax. A guy who painted graffiti on his own car. It was at Kansas State University. A guy painted on his own car, get out, then use the N-word. Go home, N-boy. Whites only, die, date your own kind. Turns out it was a black man who spray painted his own car. He wanted to move this message of America's racist, America's bigoted, America's awful. He spray painted his own car. Can we first discuss that? How crazy that is? Spray painted his own vehicle. Who was going to get it fixed? How much was this worth to you to be able to push this level of crazy? All right, maybe that's an isolated incident. You say, let's go to San Francisco. The BART, which is the system there, right? The Bay Area Rapid Transit, I believe it's what it stands for. They're looking for a man who drew offensive images on the floor of the Embarcadero earlier this week. He drew several swastikas and racial slurs, this according to KRON4. They now have images of the man. A black man seen wearing a Star Wars hoodie. Now, he could just be a crazy person for all I know. A crazy person for all I know. But how is it that we have people who are black writing racial slurs on streets, and then we have others out there in the media screaming, look at the cases of racism going on out there? You know, I said that here. You want to talk about having people look at you askew? I talked about the Jewish community centers that were getting the bomb threats earlier in the year. And I talked about some places where swastikas were drawn. I'm Jewish. And what I said is exactly what I say now. I haven't changed at all on this. That doesn't mean that anti-Semitism is on the rise. That means that schmuckdom is on the rise. Some people took a look at the election and said, oh, this is my excuse to do something stupid. No, it wasn't. You used it as an excuse. You're still stupid. They're the problem. It's not that anti-Semitism is on the rise. It's there. It's been there. We have to be aware of it. We have to confront it. Like on college campuses with BDS. You got to teach your kids how to deal with these boycott, divestment, sanction people. If your kids are Jewish, if your kids are not Jewish. Because they go after the non-Jewish kids all the time. Lying to them, trying to poison the minds, trying to turn them on Israel. Where would you rather be? You're in the Middle East. You can only pick one country to live in. Go. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Well, what's his name? David Mamet, who wrote The Secret Knowledge. Glenn Ross. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. In his book, The Secret Knowledge, and I'm paraphrasing here, he says, you have 5 minutes to leave the country. There are two planes. One goes to Israel, one goes to Syria. What plane are you getting on? Don't tell me about Israel's an apartheid state. You liars. You're going to Israel every single time. No one's getting on a plane and saying, Syria. Woohoo! Hope I don't get gassed. No one's saying that. It's not happening. By the way, how about one more? Because I've got three stories here of fake racism. Yasmin Saweed, she's 19. She goes to Baruch College. She's Muslim, and she lied to the police, claiming that she'd been harassed on a New York subway by white men who tried to take the hijab right off her head. You see, when these things do happen, they require our attention. If someone's trying to take something off somebody else's head, that is assault. How could it not be? We shouldn't be seen as it is. And we should go after those people. And when someone is not allowing somebody to live in a home or get a job because of race, we should say that's racism. We should do something about it. We should. When we see cases of racism, we should. We should say something. And we can create a myriad of cases as to what that is. But when people lie about it, they not only need to go to jail, we need to call them out for the terrible, disgusting, awful people they are. And those who support them, we should dismiss them from civil society. They don't get to play in our playground. They don't get to talk to us like they're rational people, like they're decent people, like they're worthy people. They're not. They're not. They're liars. These three are liars. Those who supported them are liars. And these are only some of the stories. Always double check your sources. Always wait for the truth to come out. I'm Tony KATZ.
I just keep hearing repeal.